Hello, good morning student. This is Narendra Jain, Director Manthan Career Institute, Director Parshv International Senior Secondary School. Students, you can see my videos on my YouTube channel Narendra Jain Sir's Chemistry. Now students, we are discussing the organic part of the 11th class and just we are in the beginning phase, that is we are doing for the nomenclature. In the last video, what I have told you how to make the radicals. Now today in this video, what I will explain how to name the radical. Then we will move further ahead to make the new and new radicals. But the thing is that we should know how to make the radicals. And before that, we should know what are the names of the radical and how to name the radical. So students, today in this video, we will discuss the naming of the radicals. Then we will, in the next video, we will go for the counting and the preparation of the radical. First of all, I should explain naming of the radicals. And in order to explain the naming of the radical, we should always consider these 5 names: N, iso, neo, secondary and tertiary. We have got the 5 main names: N, iso, neo, secondary and tertiary. So first of all, we will decide what is N structure. N actually means normal. Normal means what? Carbon chain should be straight, saturated, straight and saturated. If somebody says draw N-pentane, it is very easy. First of all, search pent. Pent means 5 carbon. N means single bond. And instead, when N is written, it means what? N means what? I have told you, the carbon chain should be straight and the saturated. So N-pentane in this way, this is the N-pentane, and how we will go? 5 carbon should be kept straight. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now hydrogen 2, 2, 2 and 2. This is N-pentane. If somebody says N-octane, you can draw. Yes sir, very easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hydrogen, 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 hydrogen and hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this is N. What is the condition of N? Carbon chain should be straight, that is unbranched and saturated. If somebody says how to draw iso, it's very easy. Different books have got the different types of the opinions and the definition. But what I am going to explain is the most easiest way. See, if we are going to discuss the iso, then how can we explain the iso? Listen beta. This is carbon. What you do, open the 4 valencies, and what I am writing, out of 4 valencies, A, 2 should be satisfied by CH3 group. Out of the 4 valencies, 2 should be satisfied by the CH3 group. So put the CH3, that is the methyl group, on any of the 4 position. I put and put here. Okay. 1 should be hydrogen. Out of the remaining 2, 1 should be satisfied by hydrogen. See, this is the iso. 4th valency, remaining carbon or whatever group is present, you can join, but this is iso. So if we draw isopentane, then how we can draw the isopentane? See, when somebody says iso, your pen should move in this way. This is iso. Getting this point? 1 carbon should have the 2 methyl. It's not necessary that on this and this carbon, on this and this valency. No, any of the 2 valency by the methyl and 1 by the hydrogen. This is iso. Out of the 5, 3 have been used, 2 are left. Put them. This is CH2 and CH3. This is isopentane. Okay. So isoheptane. If somebody asks for isoheptane, then what you will do? CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, CH2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is, see, this is heptane has been written. So in the case of the heptane, what you will do, students, how many carbons are required? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and the 7. Because this is isoheptane. So what we have been able to see, iso group is clear to you. This is iso group. And the next is the neo group. What is neo group? See, if somebody asks neo, again you do open the 4 valencies of the carbon. Now, by opening the 4 valency, 3 should be satisfied by methyl group. In the case of iso, what you are seeing, 2 should be satisfied by methyl group. In the case of the neo, 3 valency should be satisfied by the methyl group. This is methyl, this is methyl, and this is methyl. 3 valencies by methyl group, and the fourth valency, fourth by carbon chain. Remember, student, what I have done. In the case of the iso, 1 is the hydrogen. No, in the case of the neo, 3 by the methyl and 4th by the carbon chain. It may be 1 carbon or many carbon. So remember, this is neo. If somebody says this is neo, then this is wrong, because the 4th valency should be satisfied. If I put hydrogen, it is not the neo. The 4th valency should be satisfied by the carbon. So whenever you draw the neo, your pen should stop in this way. You have to put the 5 carbon in this way. Then if somebody says neoheptane, how we will draw the neoheptane? CH3, CH3. This is neo. It is not the neo. Remember this. This is neo. 5 carbon, 6 and the 7. So this is the neoheptane. This is clear to you? Okay. So these are the structures, N, iso and neo. Now the thing is that we are going to name the radicals. See, use of N, iso and neo in name of radical. In the last video, I have explained the radical. Again, I am explaining. Radicals means when the carbon's valency is vacanted. When the valency of the carbon is vacanted by removing the hydrogen. 1 valency, 2 valency, 3. If we vacant 1, it's monovalent. If we vacant 2, it is divalent. If we vacant 3, it is trivalent. So, in the case of the monovalent radical, we can use the N, iso and neo in the name of the radical. The question arises how we should use. See, use of N. What I am writing, carbon chain should be straight, saturated, and valency of first carbon is free. Carbon chain should be straight, saturated, and the valency of the first carbon is free. C, CH3, CH2. If somebody says, name this radical, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2. Carbon chain is straight, yes. Saturated, yes. And the valency of the first carbon should be free, yes. So it is, bute is there. Why? Because 4 carbon. Yl, I have told you, whenever the valency is left free, then you have to put Yl, and I would go for the N. So what is the name? This is N-butyl. If somebody says N-pentyl, then how would you draw N-pentyl? Put 5 carbon in a chain. This is N, and hydrogen is there, H2, 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 and valency is free. This is N-pentyl. So what is N? If we are going to name the radical as N, then 3 conditions should be there. Carbon chain should be straight, number 2 saturated, and number 3 valency of the first carbon. This is also first and this is also first. Valency of the first carbon should be free. Now in the case, we have to use the iso as radical. For iso name, what we should keep in mind? Iso group should be there, but obviously in this case, you can't use iso because iso is not there. What is iso? I have told you that 1 carbon, 2 methyl and hydrogen should be there. This is iso. So iso group should be present. First condition. Second condition, valency of last carbon at opposite end of iso group is free. जरा देखें. See. Isopentyl या isohexyl. How would I draw the isohexyl? Whenever say iso, your pen should move in this way. Sir, this is iso. Okay. Hex 1, 2, 3. Total होगा 6. These are 6 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. H2, H2, H3. Now, what is the condition of the radical? Iso group is there. What I have written? First thing, iso should be there. Yes, it is there. And the valency of the last carbon at the opposite end of the iso group. This is the point. Here the valency should be free. This is clear. Remember, if you free from this side or this side, then it is not named as iso. If you have to name that iso, then you should glue in this way. This is called as isohexyl. Okay. Now see, if somebody asks for iso, Nonyl, how I would draw? See, iso group is there, CH3, CH3, CH2, CH2, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Put the hydrogen. What is the condition? This is iso. Valency of the last carbon should be free. This is going to be called as the isononyl. Okay, remember, from any of these conditions, if you are opening, then it is not iso. What is the condition? Rule is that the valency of the last carbon should be made free. Okay, now the name is the neo. Again the same concept, neo group should be there. First thing. Second thing, same valency of last carbon opposite to neo should be free. C, CH3, 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 CH3. This is neo and neopentane. So if somebody says neoheptyl, you have to draw neoheptyl. This is neo, CH2, this is neohex, this is neohept. Now heptyl is there, I have to make free the valency. This is the neo group, last carbon is this, free the valency from this. Okay, if you are freeing the valency from this, then it is not neo. Neo is in this case, this is neoheptyl. Neononyl, draw the neo, CH3, 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 CH2. This is neo, 1 2 3 4. This is neo non and valency of the last is free, then it is called as the neononyl. Clear, students? So this is the name of the iso and neo. Now I am going to explain how to use the secondary and the tertiary in the radical. See, secondary radical, what is the condition? Carbon chain is straight, carbon chain is straight, saturated, and tell the valency of the second carbon should be free. In the case of the N, the valency of the first carbon is free. In the case of the secondary, and valency of second carbon is free. C, secondary pentyl. If somebody say draw secondary pentyl, what you do? Carbon chain is straight, 1 2 3 4 5. This is pentyl chain is there. Put the hydrogen. Now what you do? Valency of the second carbon, second. This is also second, this is also second. Valency of the second. If we are going to vacate the valency of the first, then it is called as the N. Valency of the second, then it is called as the secondary pentyl. Okay, if I draw secondary nonyl, how would I draw? See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 3 3 8 and 9. No, valency, this is secondary nonyl. Okay, so secondary nonyl is drawn, secondary pentyl is there, all of them clear. Now if we move for tertiary, then it's very easy. Draw isostructure of the given name. For example, if somebody says tertiary hexyl, so what you do? Draw its isostructure of the hexyl. If somebody says tertiary hexyl, then first draw its isostructure. This is clear. This is isostructure of the hexane carbon. What I am saying, whatever the name is given, first step is draw the isostructure. Second, vacant the valency of isocarbon. Vacant. Yeah, you in this case remove hydrogen of isocarbon. Sir, this is isocarbon, iso group. This is isocarbon. Remove it. This is called as tertiary. So it is tertiary. So what we have discussed today: N isoneo, N radical, iso radical, neo radical, secondary radical, and the tertiary. One more example of the tertiary I am taking on this side. Tertiary nonyl. So whenever we say tertiary, first write its iso format, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now free the valency from this side. This is the tertiary nonyl. Okay, student. So this is the beginning of the nomenclature of the radical. Now we will move how to make the radicals of the given compound. This is clear. So what we have discussed in this video is the naming of the radicals by N isoneo, secondary and the tertiary format. Okay beta, thank you.